Well, hello and welcome to the forest garden in sunny North Pembrokeshire. I've been on this site for over 22 years, and when I first arrived it was just used for grazing horses. Now we have a diverse system of nuts and fruit and various other things that you associate with growing in a forest garden. But today we're going to concentrate on berry production. This plant is quite unusual. Creeping raspberries don't normally produce such large fruits in such quantities, but this one's a real winner. I took some runners and planted 2 plants here, and in the foregoing 4 to 5 years you can see just how it has grown. As you can see, the plant is growing into the bottom section of this Cistus siliquestis or Judas tree. When you're laying out a plant design, you need to bear in mind that if you don't want to have to run around with fertiliser, that you need to put nitrogen fixing plants in various positions to make sure the plants get plenty of sustenance. You'll see this plant has been here quite some time. It's about 20 years old. And has managed to survive quite a few strong winds. The tree itself is very susceptible to breaking branches and snapping branches in the wind because of these very large leaves. But remarkably, it carries on fruiting, and you can see the load of fruit that's on this one branch. Here we have a Chilean guava, otherwise known as Ugni Mollianae. This plant is marginal here. One of its benefits are these little berries, which are going to swell up a little bit bigger than that. They will ripen in November, and they're absolutely delicious. They have a strawberry flavour, and in fact were Queen Victoria's favourite fruit. Grown in Cornwall, they used to send a box of this fruit to her every week in season. Most of my maintenance here is done with a scythe, and the mulch that's come from that scythe cutting is then spread around some of the plants. This one in particular because it needs extra protection for the root system during the winter. Here we have a Japanese wineberry. It's very similar in most instances to a raspberry. It's from the same family, it's from the rubus family, and this is the time of year that it will fruit in this part of the world. The fruit is quite delicious, and in actual fact it obviously comes from Japan and China and is a wild plant. We would have blackberries, they have Japanese wineberries. Okay, so how does it move around? Well, here's next year's fruiting branch, and it will look to actually find a place down into the grasses and root in, and then that will provide an anchor point for it to not only produce fruit next year, but to send up another stem for the following year, and so on and so forth. Here we have the salal, or Salvia Chalon. Very interesting plant, comes from the USA. It is extremely nutrient dense, has a large amount of vitamin C and many other minerals. It does like the shade. It's a shade lover, and this particular area has become too bright for it, and so it's crept away from here and dived underneath this damson tree. But this will be probably the last crop from this side of the plant. So flavour is quite a nice sweet taste, not too strong, but as I say, full of nutrients, very well regarded for various ailments, and the vitamin C makes it a very valuable plant. Well, in a forest garden, you've got to remember there's a lot of predators looking for berries. Blackbirds and thrushes are the main source of concern here. So I devised a method where I can cover the fruit until it's finished, and maybe at the end of my picking I'll leave some fruit on for the birds anyway. Okay, so here we have two types of fruit. We have in the foreground we have blueberries, various different sorts, some large and fat and some small, and nevertheless they're all very tasty and also full of nutrition. But the winner as far as nutrition concerned is at the back here, and this is Aronia melancarpa, the black chokeberry, and you can see the massive amount of fruit that is growing on these three bushes. The reason it's so well respected as far as nutrition is concerned is that it holds 4 times as much vitamin C as a blueberry. That's quite some going. It doesn't taste as nice as a blueberry, but you can juice them with apple juice and have a really good health drink. Or you can have them, as I do every day, in my porridge, as they are raw. You've heard me talking about nitrogen fixers, and this is the supreme nitrogen fixer in the forest garden. It's an Italian order. It manages to fix nitrogen in its root nodules some 30 metres from its base. That's quite something. And so if I look around in a 30-metre radius, I can see it doing a lot of good for all the other plants around. This is processing and storage. So over the far side I've got a nut cracker for cracking nuts, and I've got a dehydrator for drying fruits and nuts, and a deep freeze. And in here I store all my berries and various other things like chestnuts. Bags and bags of blackcurrants already in. There's the creeping raspberries, and from last year I still have some cherries, some damsons, etc, etc. The project of growing a forest garden was to see how much variety and types of fruit and nuts I could grow and potentially become self-sufficient. I'm now convinced that the amount of crops I can grow from a 4-acre site will easily be able to support 2 people, probably more. And I will expect to put something like 50 kilos of fruit in the deep freeze for use all year round.